Well, Bing Crawley would be considered a character that is right out of any surfing beach anywhere in the world. Every surfing beach has Bing Crawley. They're all very influential people, but they're very questionable people.
In the arc of life, there are scattered moments that stretch from day one until the end.
Oh, wham bam lamb, it's bad mamma jamma coming right at you. Time to get down with your bad self on the good foot. You know what I mean? We're stepping on the scene and we're looking mighty clean. Coming in the front door, not coming in the back. Coming across your flow, not gonna leave no tracks. Cause you know, we got the baddest soul, so get your bowl and coming close to the radio and bring a napkin and a spoon cause you wanna get all over your face. And then we'll clean it up for you a little bit, some funky stuff, and cut you off a nice hot buttery slab of funk to dip around. I'll put some hot sauce on it so make your biscuits taste good now, pretty mama. So that was one thing.
What are you going to do? None of us wanted to work or anything like that, so we'd spend the rest of the day at the beach.
I was there, my brothers were there. I've been two brothers, Daryl and Doug, and it was the early 60s, probably 62 or 63, something around there, maybe as early as 61. But the guy walked into the Malibu Inn, which is right across the street from the Malibu Pier, you know, adjacent to the world famous Surfrider Beach, where he hung out and dominated with everybody else. And he walked in there with a bag with a dead skunk in it. And I don't know what the deal was. He didn't like the owner. He was treated badly. He was kicked out a couple times for, you know, whatever behavior. And the guy, he left that in there, and basically it cleared the whole place out. I mean, you know, you don't want to be in a restaurant with a dead skunk in a bag. You just don't. So word got out that that was him, and you know, the owner just went berserk. And that was one funny thing that I remember that he definitely did. Another one.
Bing Crawley, I think he's one of those guys who could probably show up anywhere. He had a fascination with surfing that, you know, which is what makes us so unique. And I think he focused more on that than anything else. So you could be sitting down at Torrance Beach and you might run into him there. You might be the next week up at Malibu and you probably see him there too.
Unless I experience it firsthand, I really don't want to pass that information on because I'm not that type of person. You know, I'd rather just talk about the stuff that I definitely know that guy was involved in. I don't know his past, I don't know his future, I just know that there were certain things that happened in Malibu and around Malibu that were completely insane at that time, that could not be done or replicated today, because you would just be immediately taken to jail and taken away forever.
Well, there was a couple things that Bing did, really. He had something that I picked up on that I think a lot of people missed. One of them is what we call the fade.
So, you know, he was the type of guy that if you put a thing of Jack Daniels along with some acid, along with some PCP, along with some grass, and along with some hash, he'd do it all and just see what happens.
And I don't think a lot of people picked up on that. I think they missed it. And it's just one of those things, if you're really, you know, just kind of looking at surfers, you don't really see certain things, but if you really like style or you like certain maneuvers.
I personally, believe it or not, wasn't involved in any drugs in Malibu. I mean, I just wasn't. I was too busy because I came from a creative family, and as I said before, I don't know if you ran the machine, but you know, if you're a creative type, you know, person, if you take drugs, it puts you over the edge and you go bye-bye. If you're a normal type person, like, oh, you know, I need some mind expansion, now let's see some chemtrails, then drugs can help, actually. I've seen it actually help in mind expansion. So I personally wasn't involved in any drugs. Now, the drugs that I heard that he took was anything and everything that was available to him at any given time.
But then all of a sudden stories started coming over.
Personally, I wasn't there for all this, but my brother Doug, who was directly involved with this guy, would tell me about this. Because remember, I was about maybe 5 years younger.
you'll really start to see certain things about individuals in surfing that make it such an individualistic sport.
Oh, my favorite surfers? Oh, that's easy. Classic surfers. What, you know, some of the underground best, some of the, you know, magazine best. You know, Phil Edwards, 64. Mickey Dora, 65. You know, Jack Goodman, 66. Peter Bright, 67. I mean, 68 had Marshall Faulkner. 69 was the emergence of a whole new style of surfing with Bing Crawley. 70 was, of course, Lopez. 71, Lopez again. You know, 72 was Peter Green, George Greeno. 73 was Lopez again. 74 was, oh, what was that guy's name? Big beard. Oh yeah, James Hanlon. 75 was, you know, Shane Tucker.
So I wasn't in that crowd. I just, you know, my brother Doug, if you want to fly to Maui and talk to him, hey, feel free. I don't know what the budget of this film is. But he would, okay, if it's way up, then Maui, you're going to Maui. No, I've heard all sorts of rumors that he just disappeared into thin air. That's great. He did a Mickey Dora number that, you know, moved to Europe and just sort of faded out. You know, Australia, I think he was sighted down south of Perth near Yallingup, something like that. There was a guy down there that I think he was connected with, not Big Mike, but some other guy. Oh, Dan Dugan down in Yallingup, south of Perth.
Okay, you hear these stories about some of these big waves and different. They always seem to come from up north.
You know, that guy Bing, I mean, you are right. Even though a lot of people don't know about this guy, he's a well-kept secret.
Guys from down here will take off and they'll go up to areas around Half Moon Bay or above Santa Cruz, and they'll come back with these stories about some of these misto spots up there that are just incredibly big, and some of them are good, and some of them are just dangerous. And the word was about Bing Crawley is he found a spot up there by Half Moon Bay that he kind of paddled out all by himself. And the word was he just sat out there the first day, didn't even surf it. And went out the next day and rode a few waves. And you know, he didn't talk about it. It came back from other people that had been on the beach and seen it, that there was a guy that, you know, come up from down south. And we knew it was him. Big winter swell, and everybody was headed for Palos Verdes.